I'm Michael Veitch. Today on Sunday Arts, beautiful images, cool sounds and fancy footwork. Coming up, the very cool sounds of Barry Adamson.
Yes, that's why I'm about to break down and cry and put an end to this crazy dream.
So what happens when punk rockers reach middle age and begin to mellow? Why, they start turning up on TV art shows, of course. English muso Barry Adamson came to fame in the heady days of the 80s Manchester push, playing bass with bands such as Magazine, Visage, I remember them well, and our own Nick Cave. But since then he's enjoyed a successful solo career, and now he's back on the road with a new band. They're our guests today here on Sunday Arts, so let's hear them. And afterwards, Barry will have a chat with Fenella Kernebone.
Keep it quiet, 'cause I'm about to lose my head. I saw my baby on the corner. She left me reeling when she said I could love you, but that would leave me in misery. She said that Love's Hotel was open, and there's now a vacancy. Yeah. She's a woman. It's fair to say that I'm a man. But love's all soon to be forgotten, or when you're forced to show your hands. Can't stand it, the way she treated me so mean. Yes, that's why I'm about to break down and cry and put an end to this crazy dream. Neither one of us wants to be left behind. I can't do a thing to stop these tears that I cry. So much hurt now, so much pain. Guess I'm gonna remain insane, yeah. But come tomorrow, you're gonna find me all alone. All been sold or in the garbage, or merely shoved out in the cold. I could love you, but that would leave me in misery. You see, my heart has been a victim of a murder in the first degree. Neither one of us wants to be left behind. I can't do a thing to stop these tears that I cry. So much hurt and now so much pain. Guess I'm gonna die. Oh, I never meant to make you cry.
Barry Adamson, welcome to Sunday Arts. Great to meet you.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
Now, that track is from your latest album, your 7th album, and it's called Back to the Cat, which you've described as being a heck of a lot more jazzy than previous efforts. What's been drawing you in that direction?
Well, I think there's always been elements throughout the work, and I think this album seemed to sort of draw you know, on things I've done in the past and really bring them to almost like a head. And jazz has been sort of, somebody pointed out to me actually that in all the work, in all the things I do, there seems to be a spine of jazz, and even if it can't be put in the classification of jazz. And I think I quite consciously sort of pulled that together this time and sort of really ran with it.
I wonder whether or not it's because it's maybe it's a slightly happier feel. There certainly seems to be a bit of a shift in that regards too, because you're known for that sort of more darker, slightly film noir sound.
And I used to use jazz in that way as well, almost like the nightmarish aspects. Like you can always get a good chase sequence, or delving into sort of, you know, the beyond by using the jazz idiom.
Well, there's something also about the storytelling element in jazz at the same time. And when you see you perform, like it's such a story that you're telling in every single song, and even if it's a sort of a darker song or something like that, also an element of humour too. Why is that so important?
I think it's grounding. I think it's sort of, you know, let's not get, you know, too away with ourselves here. And I think there's a great tradition, I think, of storytelling that it can be comedic to heighten the tragedy, almost. And a lot of the things I talk about, they're sort of, you know, fairly harrowing human stories. And I think, though, you know, if I just lace them a little bit with that humour, it keeps a healthy perspective on it.
Part of what I know about your work is this amazing passion for film music and for film scores, and obviously a really famous one of being Lost Highway with David Lynch. What is it about writing for film that fascinates you?
I think it's there's something about the imagination and everyday life, and I think it's finding almost the point at which those two meet, you know, and everybody does it. You can sit on a train or a bus and sort of drift off, and almost you can hear, like, you know, with me anyway, I can almost hear the music kind of come in to support what's going on in the imagination. Is
there a particular scene in Lost Highway which demonstrates that, I suppose, that what you're describing?
Well, it's really interesting because I think one of the most powerful things in that movie at times is to take the ordinary and to make it seem sort of quite, you know, different to the way it's perceived. There's a scene, my wife always comments about a scene where Renee, the femme fatale, is putting on her makeup, and Fred, the husband, just walks off into this room where it's dark and sort of disappears. And I remember sort of working with David and I sort of did this design where the orchestra didn't play so much music, but I gave them symbols, and at that symbol you slur the note, at that symbol you do this, and they're all given different, and it made it just this sort of harrowing undercurrent. So
as a musician, as a composer, though, you actually gave that scene entire meaning. It's almost a lot of power for you, isn't there?
There's a lot of power, but I think, you know, the film is like the king, you know, and it's going to sort of, and the director's sort of taking you, you know, towards the throne, if you like, and saying, this is what the film's telling you that it needs. And you know if you get it right, because everybody in the room gets it.
Is that what's drawing you to being a filmmaker? Because I know that's what you're doing at the moment. I did see a camera out the back.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the way the world's gone, I've always had, you know, ambition. But the way the world's gone now, the technology is available that you can sort of make things on the fly and go home, put them in your laptop and start cutting things together, you know, instead of waiting for a chance to get in a studio to, you know, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So that's making things a little bit easier now.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing your films and hearing more of your music. Thank you so much for joining us.